All right, happy Sunday, everybody. I hope that your day is starting off well. We have started off with a lot of shower activity out there, pretty wet at times, but thankfully we are going to get some drier, slightly drier conditions in for this afternoon. Rain is going to be not as widespread, just going to be a little bit more scattered. Now, looking at the time lapse from last night, we did have a ton of rainfall move through. Of course, you know, this is something that you could watch later on. We're doing this live on Sunday mornings at the moment, but if you're watching later on, we're going to talk a little bit more about the forecast here in just a moment. We do have more rain possible for Wednesday. All that coming up in just a bit. First of all, I want to talk a little bit about what we had last night and what we can expect for the rest of today on Sunday if you're watching live. So outside, we had a lot in the way of cloud cover overnight, and then we had even a little bit of shower activity pass through, even moderate to heavy showers at times. Some may have also had a little bit of thunder and lightning. You may have heard some of that thunder overnight last night and into the early hours of this morning. A lot of heavy rain, though, at times, especially just around the 6 o'clock time frame. And then as we've made our way throughout the morning, rain has become a little bit more broken up. And here as of about 11 o'clock this morning, starting to see much of that rain move out. Now, I want to show a few spots here. Looking up towards Rome, just a lot of cloud cover, seeing some breezy conditions at times with the flags there on the flagpole. You can kind of see them moving a little bit. Looking out towards the airport, despite all this rain, we haven't really had any weather delays. You see a few planes or aircraft taxiing on the runway there, so no big issues, and you see all the cloud cover that we see for pretty much all over the region. The shower activity moved through the Atlanta metro earlier on. Now it's starting to move out for the most part, the heaviest of the showers over towards Columbia, stretching into Myrtle Beach. A little bit of a drop in some of our data there on the radar, but you kind of get the idea where some of that rain is heading towards Myrtle Beach and Charleston. Now I want to look down to our south and west, down towards Montgomery. A few showers getting going, and yes, those are moving up to the northeast, and those are going to be impacting us later on today, mainly into the middle to latter part of this afternoon. So we had the showers move through earlier. Things have kind of quieted down now. The amount of rain that we've seen over the last 24 hours, much of this fell within the last 6 hours, is anywhere from 1 inch to 2 inches. I want you to look up towards Gainesville, where they saw nearly 2 inches of rainfall there, closer on towards Lake Lanier, about 1.5 inches there down towards Peachtree City, down towards Thomaston, about 1.5 inches for them. And then north of LaGrange there, about nearly 2 inches. Some spots saw a significant amount of rainfall, and pretty much all of us saw at least 1 inch of rain, with just some spots just under 1 inch over last night. Much of the heavier rain, again, impacting the Carolinas now. You see that up into North Carolina, South Carolina, parts of middle and southern Georgia also dealing with heavy rain. Thankfully, we're not getting anything severe from this system here in North Georgia. They may have a strong storm or two in South Georgia, though, for today. That's about it. Not expecting anything too serious like what we just had about a week and a half ago. We do have a chance for some strong storms later on this week for parts of the southeast, not necessarily for us, and we're going to be talking more about that in a moment. First of all, the rest of today, here's what we can expect. For Sunday all the way through Monday morning, we're going to pick up about an additional 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch across the region, maybe down towards Thomaston up to 3/4 inch. And you can see where a majority of this rain is going to occur. It's going to be for the Atlanta metro down to the south and east, Covington, Athens, Edenton. May see a little bit more rain than what they see in Marietta, Canton, up towards Rome and Dalton, because the heaviest of the rainfall, again, going to stay further to the south and east. And we're about to take a look at Forecast Track to give you an idea on what the radar could look like this afternoon. But I want to remind you to download that 11 Alive app. It can give you those live updates on the radar whenever you're on the go. You see at the top of the screen where it says Explore Radar Map. Click that open. You can see where that rain is, get an idea of when it's going to move through. You get the hourly forecast in there where it shows temperatures only rising into the 40s this afternoon. So yeah, Sunday is going to be pretty cool, and then there's temperatures dropping down into the 30s tonight. And if you hit that daily icon, you'll see a chance for rain again on Wednesday with another big cold front coming through. We're about to talk about that in a moment. Remember, you can download that from the App Store, from the Apple App Store. You can download from Google Play. And then also you can download our streaming service right there on Roku and Fire TV, where you can get extra weather information like this update and then other news on the whenever you're at home. So make sure that you download that. It can be a great way to get that news information right at your fingertips whenever you want to get it. Taking a look at the timeline here, Forecast Track shows that shower activity that moved through this morning, and then we head through this afternoon. Anywhere from about 4 through 7 o'clock, we're going to see some more showers pass by, at least near Metro Atlanta, possibly right over it. Light to moderate rain, not going to be as heavy as what we dealt with earlier on this morning. Temperatures again into the 40s for highs. For tonight, maybe a brief shower or two. That's about it. Temperatures are going to drop back down into the 30s for lows, and then we're going to have temperatures rising back into the 40s for highs as we head throughout tomorrow afternoon. A lot of sunshine for the afternoon there on Monday, and that's going to help us warm up a little bit, but still only 40s, very windy at times. Winds are going to be anywhere from 10 to 20 miles per hour for overnight tonight into tomorrow. Looking at Tuesday, this is Tuesday, starting off in the day, we'll have temperatures in the 30s. This is actually even by 11 a.m., so we'll have rebounded a little bit in temperatures by this time, but we're actually going to start Tuesday with temperatures in the lower 30s to upper 20s. Thankfully, though, lots of sunshine for the afternoon on Tuesday is going to help our temperatures rebound into the mid-50s for highs. And that's ahead of our next cold front on Wednesday. That's going to be when we get those rain chances to go up to an 80% chance. Temperatures will still rise into the 60s on Wednesday, just barely, but then a big cool down by the end of the week with some drier air. Now, with this chance for rain, there's also going to be a slight chance for severe weather for our neighbors down towards Montgomery, stretching all the way down through Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and into Morgan City, Louisiana, through New Orleans, South Mississippi, South Alabama. You see it down into portions of the Florida Panhandle to go along with it. These storms are going to be weakening as they move in our direction. I think we could get a few rumbles of thunder south of the I-20 corridor, but I wouldn't expect anything severe, mainly just rainfall with this system for the middle of the week. So starting Tuesday at 4 p.m., look to our west. Seeing a little bit of shower activity start to move closer in. That shower activity gets a little more organized. We get more thunderstorm activity for our neighbors in Mississippi by about 2:30 on Wednesday morning. And then the thunderstorms will move over us and sometimes just showers and a few rumbles of thunder by the time we get into Wednesday around 11:30 a.m. So this could impact the morning commute all the way through the lunchtime frame on Wednesday. Then it's out of here for the evening commute, and then we're left with drier conditions for the end of the week and into the weekend. Will be a little bit breezy at times, though, as that cooler air sinks in. You see that Saturday is also looking dry, but by Sunday at 11 a.m., look to our west, here comes our next system. So at least Saturday is going to be dry, but it looks like we may end up with a little bit of rain trying to creep in by Sunday. Hopefully it holds off till Monday, though. That way we can have a dry weekend, get any outdoor work done that you'd have to get at this weekend, this next weekend rather. High temperatures showing that over the next 5 days, we'll have 47 for the high again on Monday, 40s for Sunday. So again, it's cold today, it's cold tomorrow. Moving into Tuesday, though, temperatures rebound a little bit, hitting 55 for the high. 60 for Wednesday, and then another big drop in temperatures because of that cold front back down into the 40s for highs. So, a majority of this year so far, well, January, we've had temperatures rising above average for highs each afternoon. We've only had 3 days bring below average highs. We're going to add on a fourth day with today. Temperatures are only going to rise into the 40s. And then we're going to have a majority of this next week where our highs are going to be below average. So that's going to help us get kind of more normal as far as the month is concerned, but it will be a cooler week ahead of us. Still a 70% chance for rain today. That was mainly for this morning. The rest of today is going to be a little bit lower of a chance for rain. Not going to be as much. Again, we had the really heavy shower activity to start off the day. Things will be a little bit quieter later on. Temperatures, they're going to rise into the 40s, 30s for lows, 40s for highs on Monday, an 8 on the Wizometer, a 9 on Tuesday as temperatures rise into the mid-50s. A lot more sunshine for Tuesday. Tuesday night, just after sunset, I think we're going to start to see a few isolated showers move in. Cloud cover will build in big time, and then we'll end up with the showers and thunderstorms for Wednesday morning into the early part of the afternoon. Temperatures rise into the 60s, and then that cold front slips through, and you see Thursday through Saturday, temperatures going to be in the 30s for lows, 40s to 50s for highs. A little bit of a rebound in temperatures there for Saturday, giving us a 9 on the Wizometer. I like it a little bit warmer myself, but at least that's close to around average for this time of year. Now, we've had a lot of rainfall. This does not include the rain that we had today. Remember, we've added an extra 1.5 to 2 inches in some spots across the metro, and as we head into tonight, the National Weather Service will update these numbers, and we'll see possibly even up to 5 inches now of rainfall so far this year. So it has been a very wet month here across North Georgia, and we're going to just add to that surplus again as we head throughout this next week, because this next week is going to bring us multiple chances for rain with the rest of the rain that we have for Sunday, and then on Wednesday, that next significant chance for rainfall. How much rain do we get, though, as we head throughout the next week? It's looking like anywhere from 1/2 of an inch to an inch of additional rain, maybe a little bit more over there towards Augusta. But for the Atlanta area, we're talking about 1 inch to 1.5 inches of additional rainfall on what we, or excuse me, 1/2 of an inch to an inch of additional rain on what we already had. Just this past 24 hours. And that's just going to continue to help our surplus. Again, it's going to keep away the drought conditions. I want to look a little bit down to the south here, down into the Albany area, stretching down towards Valdosta, Thomasville, Georgia. You notice where they have the severe to moderate drought. They've actually had a significant amount of rainfall from this system too. So while we don't have drought here in North Georgia, we can hope that our neighbors down to the south are getting the rain. They are. That should help improve their drought conditions and stop the drought from being so bad for our neighbors down into South Georgia, which is good for them because, remember, they've got a lot of farming communities down there, and that helps produce for the state. So looking at 8 to 14 days rainfall outlook, it looks like we'll continue to have above average rainfall. So similar to what we've had for a majority of this January, where we've had some wet conditions, that looks like that trend will just continue as we head into the early part of February, because now that's what we're looking at. We're now looking at the early part of February when we're talking 8 to 14 days out. Looking at the 8 to 14 day temperature outlook, temperatures above average. So if you like those temperatures being in the 60s for highs, if you're like me, even though that is above average for this time of year, it's looking like that's what we're going to be having for a majority of the time period from day 8 through day 14. That first week of February is what we're talking about. Looking at our weekend getaways, if you didn't get out of town this weekend, maybe you got more plans for next weekend. It's looking like we're going to start off next weekend with a little bit of sunshine in there, and then it's looking like as we head into Saturday, temperatures are going to be in the 60s for highs to 50s in some spots. And then once we move into the end of the weekend, remember we were looking at that shower activity off to our west on Sunday, talking about how it could creep closer to us. Maybe impacting Destin by Sunday, maybe impacting Gatlinburg, and then for pretty much everybody else on Monday, we're all going to end up with a little bit more shower activity as that system arrives. 70 in Destin, you just wish you could get 70 with sunshine, right? Your Peach State outlook showing that over the next 3 days, if you're traveling across the state of Georgia, we're going to be drier for Monday and Tuesday. Temperatures will be cooler. Going to be much warmer, though, for areas like Savannah on Wednesday, 70 degrees. But remember, that cold front arrives, brings us the rainfall. And then if we were to look at the 6-day outlook for the Peach State, you would see that much cooler air moving in for the end of the week. Here's your Georgia State Park forecast too. I always like to show this. If you want to go do some fun hikes for tomorrow, if you're off on Monday, it's looking like it's going to be great weather for some hiking. Temperatures are going to be in the 30s for lows and then rising into the 40s to 50s for highs, excuse me. You see Skidaway Island. They're going to stay fairly warm there to start off the morning. Of course, they're closer onto the coastline, so they're not impacted as much as drier air. With the fact that they have more moisture down there by the coastline at Skidaway Island, their lows actually stay more mild in the overnight time frame compared to something like Amicalola Falls. Amicalola Falls, by the way, would be a great hike for tomorrow thanks to the fact that we had all this heavy rainfall. The waterfall will be very full. A beautiful look up there if you're heading up into far north Georgia. Tallulah Gorge will also be a stunning place to go check out. Of course, all those state parks absolutely stunning. Now I want to bump it back up to the 7-day forecast. Don't forget you can get this information whenever you're on the go. Just download that 11 Alive app. We'll continue to keep you updated on everything, of course, right here at 11 Alive throughout the week, and we'll have another update for you on Thursday after that cold front moves through on Wednesday. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. We'll keep you updated on everything right here at 11 Alive.